novel, 1001 Nights, just came out this month. Very exciting. What was it like? You live in New York. What was it like when you saw it for the first time in a bookstore window or on a shelf?
It was very exciting, Rob. Thank you. It was great to walk into Barnes & Noble in Astor Place, which is pretty close to where I live in the Lower East Side, and there it was in the bookshelf. And yes, very exciting for me to see it at last.
That's a good feeling. This is an interesting premise. Tell us a little about the book. It is set on a cruise ship. A couple, two young musicians, young man and a young woman.
Yes.
Just give a little background on the story.
Yes, well, it's two entertainers. They work on a cruise ship, as you said. They have to perform in production shows in the evening, and during the day they have to perform duties such as shuffleboard and ping pong, and they run deck quizzes, etc. So it's very busy for them there on the ship. They do this for several contracts in the Mediterranean and the Caribbean, and then they decide to become a duo, a musical act, and they then tour the international hotel circuit in the Middle East and the Far East. It's really about their travels and adventures and what it's like to sing night after night after night in a hotel.
You have a nice touch for conveying the sort of the cheesy aspects of this life.
Yes.
Did you work on a cruise ship yourself ever?
I, in fact, did, yes. Right after college, I went and joined the circus, as my mother likes to say. I went and worked on a cruise ship. So some of the observations in the book are based on my personal experience, but what happens to the characters is quite fictional.
And did you work as an entertainer on a cruise ship?
I did, in fact. I was a singer, and then I was a lounge singer for a time. So I was interested in capturing that very strange, cheesy, schmaltzy world, as you say. And so the novel is somewhat about faking it, what it's like to have to do that night after night after night, and what it's like to fake it in other ways, as hopefully readers will see when they read the book.
Obviously, you spend a lot of time focusing on the characters. It's not just about the setting, it's also about the characters. But part of what defines the characters is what they do, and it's the singing.
Yes.
You also have a nice feel for sort of the soundtrack of our lives. You know all of the songs that they sing, whether it's the Carpenters or the Beatles or whatever. Are you a real music fanatic yourself?
Well, yes, and when I was doing some singing on my own, I was forced to memorize quite a lot of pop songs, and I think those lyrics stayed with me, and they were in my head as I was composing this novel. What was interesting was how universal the Eagles seem to be in terms of people wanting to hear Eagles songs, and I mentioned that in the book as well. I also reference certain groups as titles for the chapters, and that was part of...
Every chapter is tied into a group or a song, is it? Refresh my memory.
Yes, a group, either a duo or an artist. For instance, there's a chapter about how popular the movie Titanic was at one time, and so that chapter is called Celine Dion in honor of the theme song for Titanic. So yes, the book is kind of organized around various musical artists and songs. Yeah.
The book is dedicated to your parents. Some folks will certainly know, well, a lot of folks will know your parents. You grew up in Boothbay Harbor. Your dad was Congressman Stan Tupper, who represented Maine back in the 1960s. You dedicate the book to your mom and dad, in mentioning at the end of the book, your mom, you say that she taught you an insatiable love of reading, and regarding your dad, you mentioned that he taught you about the ukulele and Willie Nelson. What was the role of the ukulele?
My father was an excellent ukulele player, and so I grew up hearing him play, and it was a wonderful thing. You know, he's, as you mentioned, known for his political contributions, but that was quite important to me as a child to have access to the ukulele and to his love for country music.
What other instruments do you play?
Well, I don't play the ukulele nearly as well as he did, but I dabble in the guitar just a little bit. I really am not such a great instrumentalist myself, but he certainly taught me a love for music, and as you said, my mother certainly taught me a love for reading and for books, so I'm grateful for that.
Again, the name of the book is 1001 Nights. Lara Tupper is the author. Thank you so much for coming in. Good luck with this one. You're already at work on the second one.
Yes.
Come see us again when that comes out.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
And stay with us. We will be back with more of 207 right after this.
Let me explain. You're injured. You've got